Yeah, the countdown was running. Now it's starting. And I could see we have a lot of people already there. Hello, hello, welcome. I think we wait some minutes. Maybe, Emilio, you want to start to say shortly hello?
Hello, hello Davide. Davide is here. Hello Davide. Christophe. Davide Radaelli. Welcome. Probably ciao Davide, I would say. Christophe, welcome. John, Alba, Katharina.
So many people. Where you come from?
People are coming in, yeah.
I can see the chat is also active. Hello, hello from Berlin. You already, yeah, from Hamburg. Where are you from? Tell us.
Where I see.
Glasgow.
Fantastic.
Cologne, Frankfurt. Hello. And Freiburg. That's nice. We wait some seconds, I think, until everybody's there.
See lots of
Great
people
to see you guys.
Colombia, Düsseldorf, Berlin. So,
Colombia is far.
Yeah, south of Munich, Baltic Sea, Maria. I see Berlin again, Lisbon, Copenhagen, Mark, Brussels, Munich. Someone who's in love with Munich, always good. It's a nice city, Munich.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. That's really, really cool. We have a lot of people here joining today.
Stefan with Katja from La Palma. Oh, very good. Hola,
Munich is the best.
Berlin, here's Berlin. And Brandenburg. Hi, Philip. So let me say hello and welcome you everybody to our little online session on the topic leveraging ChatGPT in project management. My name is Charlotte, who don't know me. I work in the community team as a consultant relations manager for the DACH region, for the German-speaking region. And today I'm hosting and helping our two experts from the Malt Strategy Network, Katja and Emilio. And as we don't have a lot of time, I can see that we're a lot of people today. I'll be very, very quick with my introduction. So please use this chat also to ask your questions, right? So the two experts are going to make sure to have some time in the end of the session to answer them. And now some quick words to introduce Katja. Katja is a strategic management consultant, an AI content creator offering transformative mentorship and coaching. And Katja has over 10 years of project experience, specializing in generative AI technologies and IT transformation projects. Her roles as project leader, risk manager, data analyst, and BI consultant have given her deep technical analytical expertise and project management skills. Welcome, Katja. And welcome Emilio, a senior project executive with 20 years of experience in digital transformations, a passionate trainer helping professionals and organizations enhance their project management skills, and specialized in the automotive industry and also in telco, banking, and mobility. Welcome, Emilio.
Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming our experts, and I hand over the mic to Katja.
Thank you, Charlotte, for this nice introduction. Welcome everyone. I'm very happy to be here and to greet you. And today we will have a call on leveraging ChatGPT in project management. With my colleague Emilio and myself. So thank you for the introduction. Sorry. Now it's going. It's already introduced by Charlotte. Thank you very much. I'm very happy. I'm living in Munich. To everyone who wrote, we are also from Munich. Hello, everyone, but also from all out of the world. I'm happy to be here and to share with you my enthusiasm for this innovative technology, generative AI, in context with project management. And me and I, Emilio and me, we are knowing us from a former project. We had really a fun time together. And now I'm giving over to Emilio.
Yeah, and the fun time, it's fun. It's actually maybe one minute story about ourselves. Actually, myself and Katja, we never met each other. We are the living proof that people can work in remote doing big projects, because we did a big project, but we actually never met in person. We never had a coffee together or a tea together. But we worked together for quite a lot, and it was a very exciting time and exciting, challenging project, and that's why how this cooperation worked. I'm very happy to be here. Very excited. Thank you, Charlotte, for your warm welcome. Thank you, Katja. Thanks also everybody. I see lots of people. So very good. Very excited. We just proceed for people who may be wondering. Why I have two pictures on the bottom of my picture. I'm Italian. I lived in the Netherlands, live in The Hague. So if you are in The Hague or in the Netherlands, you want to have enjoy some Dutch cuisine, just please ping me, and we'll be happy to have a coffee or something else with you. Let's kick in.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, then we are going with the agenda for today.
Yes, we're going for the agenda of today. Basically, ChatGPT, and I want to start with an excuse, and it sounds quite funny to start with an excuse, because sometimes I say ChatGPT has nothing to do with ChatGPT. It's a ChatGPT can do lots of things. There are tons of courses out there. ChatGPT can help you in writing emails, in making summaries, creating reports, risk reports, templates. When we were thinking about this session, Katja and myself thought, okay, what can we do? And we wanted to be as specific as possible, and being project managers ourselves, because we are project managers. Apart from Katja is a content creator, I'm a trainer, but we are project manager. Our core business is project management. So I said, let's do something, and that's why we chose two use cases, and we call it use cases with the language of ourselves, project managers, that we would help us in our daily work. So the agenda for today is as following. One is an introduction to the ChatGPT. Then Katja will take over for the first use case. We'll analyze an extract from JIRA. Does anybody know what JIRA is? Are you familiar with that? Maybe just drop a yes in the chat. JIRA is nothing else. Say yes. Very good. Okay, so I don't need to say. It's something JIRA people use it, but if you don't use JIRA, you don't know what JIRA is. Do not worry. It could be an extract from a project that you do in Excel, actually, or on Monday.com or Asana or Rack. It doesn't really matter. And so that will be Katja part. Then secondly, I will go on and create a project plan that you actually can import. And we'll do the import in JIRA. Again, you don't have JIRA. Johan van der Linde doesn't know what JIRA is. It doesn't matter. It's probably you will do project, I guess, in Excel or in other tools. It's about importing. So do not worry. If you have some extra question, just ping us at the end. So using JIRA, it could mean any tool that you use to manage your project. And then we'll have time for Q&A and wrap up. If you have any question, just put them in the chat, and Charlotte will help us at the end to answer that and to go through that. Are you ready? Drop a yes if you are, then we can start.
Okay, thank you, Emilio, for introducing us to the agenda. And today's session objectives, I just want to give you a quick overview what we want to transport to you today. This is give you an idea and inspiration of how large language models in general can be used for project management. And we want also to demonstrate you the power behind it. Additionally, we want to equip you with an effective prompt formula that you can adapt to any of your cases. But please note, ChatGPT is not the tool to use. It's just here to show you the practice. It can be any other LLM tool, and probably you will also use at your client maybe, as I said, other LLM tools, because the companies already started to integrate LLM in their infrastructure. And it might be an interface to ChatGPT fine-tuned with clients' data, or it can also be an own established model. So it's just a hint here, not to take it word by word. Okay, thank you. So the next slide. Yeah, you already probably heard about ChatGPT. It went live around 22, and the benefits of ChatGPT have been omnipresent. So everyone is talking about it. The reaction is extraordinary, but maybe the limitations and the risk have been less prominent here. So we want to present them just to give you a complete picture. Okay. LLM does not really understand. It works with probabilities. So even it can produce remarkably human-like text and make us feel that it's totally understand us. In fact, it searches for the next word based on probabilities in the sequence. Yeah. So please keep that in mind. That is still a machine, just working on some kind of mechanism behind or algorithm. LLM is only as good as its training data. It depends on the data it has been trained on. For example, if you have unethical content in your data, so LLM will also give you answers which are discriminatory or unfair. And that's I want to say that please always check and adjust ChatGPT results. The next one is this is not a calculation tool, so it does not master any mathematical logic. It just learned from text. It's a language model. If it's learned that 2 + 2 is 5, it will always give you this answer. If it was fed it with, I don't know, hundreds or thousands sets of data where 2 + 2 is 5. So besides, I would say, besides addition and subtraction, do not rely on any ChatGPT results or mathematical capabilities. The other one is very important also for the companies. This is data protection, and this is a big issue, especially with sensitive corporate information. And inputting that in public chatbots is not a good practice. It might violate corporate policies and also lead to termination of your job. So please do not do that. And this is again here exclamation mark. Never publish sensitive or private data of your clients without their consent. Also, I would recommend do not publish your private data, but it's up to you. And you will not have any harm from legal side, at least. Hallucination. This is also when an AI model generates incorrect information, but presented as it were a fact. And I must say that, Gen AI is really good at it to present some kind of alternative news as a fact. So you really need to check and to be really knowing your topic to detect it. So here again, always check and adjust ChatGPT results. Let's go to the next slide. Exactly. So we have here, as we said at the beginning, we want to equip you with some kind of formula which you can adapt in any case. And if you want to integrate LLM in your profession, the most important skill you need to learn or to develop is prompt engineering. Probably you also heard about this in context with ChatGPT. But what is prompt engineering? So prompt engineering is the way you design your input for AI that will produce optimal output. That is actually prompt engineering. So if you used ChatGPT and wrote something in it, so then you can see yourself as a prompt engineer. And this formula we are presenting here, it has 2 mandatory components and followed by 5 optional components. And I will deep dive to these components. And of course, I forgot to say, the output will be from an AI will be as good as your prompt is. So always remember that. Okay, role. What is role? Role is a perspective or expertise you want to assign to the AI. So, for example, you are saying, as a web designer or in the role of accounting manager, something like that. Then you have the task. The task is action with an active verb. So you will say analyze, summarize, compare, write. So some of these active verbs you want to, ChatGPT to act on. Then we have now this optional. The optional elements enhance and tailors interaction for specific needs. So in the context, you provide background information or setting. So you can say, for example, I'm a history teacher and I want to create a multiple choice test for my students. So this is the context. Yeah, you're telling something about your situation and why you need that. Then we come to the constraints. These are limitations or specific requirements. For example, write me an article within 500 words. That would be a constraint. Then tone and style, I would recommend to use in writing articles, writing emails, something where you have an audience. And there you can define the tone like friendly, professional, funny, casual. That will be the tone. And the format is what you want to have, the structure of the output. So for example, it can be a list or a table, but it can also even be a code. Yeah, so ChatGPT can really coding, for example, Python or I don't know, Java, C++. I'm not a programmer.
Or a
I'm not a
simple
developer.
Excel formula as well.
Yeah, exactly. Or Excel formula. Yeah, that's helpful as well. And if you're not sure if your prompt was understandable for AI, just ask AI if AI did understood or has any questions before it starts to respond. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Oh, sorry. To illustrate the theory of prompting, we prepared here a small example of poor prompt and effective prompt. And in a poor prompt, we, for example, just have a task where we say, describe best practices for getting started quickly in a project. And and you see on the right side, the output of ChatGPT. It is not bad. It just have a lot of listening, what you can do. A lot of best practices. From the first side as a project manager, I would say, it makes sense. It's not bad. But let's see what will happen if we start to improve a little bit our prompt and add a role and also context into it. So the role of the AI here would be you are a senior project manager. And in the task, we also give a kind of constraint. So we just not want to have 100 of best practices, just 3 of them or 5. It's free to you. And then in the context, we also have some information, background information that I'm a new project manager on an ongoing CRM project in a bank. So I give here a lot of information. That's the project, for example, is an ongoing one. The phase of the project. Then I name here the topic. This is a CRM and the area in the bank, and that I'm new there. And you see here on the right side, now the answer of ChatGPT is more tailored to your request. It refers, for example, to CRM and bank. And it is not listening anymore. It is more now explaining and guiding you, giving you also hints. For example, before doing something is crucial to fully understand. I mean, that makes absolutely sense. If you're new, just to understand the current state. And and this is why this effort in creating or design a prompt absolutely matters. Okay, so now I think I'm in time. sorry if it was too fast, but we have a lot of stuff to show you, and that's why it might be so very, very structured. Okay, so we prepared 2 use cases for you to just to illustrate it, how in practice it can work for project managers. And I will start with the first one. This will be an analysis of a project extract from JIRA. And let me switch then to this extract. Can everyone see well my picture? Is it big enough? I hope so. If nobody complains.
It's wonderful.
Perfect. Okay, yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, you see here an Excel file, what you can download from JIRA or any, this feature is very basic, yeah, or any other project management tool. You can download your project data, but again, here be careful of confidentiality and data security and so on. This example here I constructed, for this case, it's not a real one. It's just my kind of work here. Okay, so as you see, I have here some issue ideas. Then I have the issue types. Here in my example, I have only tasks, no epic, nothing bigger in the hierarchy. Then I have the summary of the task. I name here the priority, where I have only high and medium. Then I have here the more detailed description. I have here also the assignee of the task, which in every project is very important to have if you have tasks to have assignees. But I don't have any names behind it. These are just roles. And also important data is start date, when the task should start, and also the due date when the task should finish. And also the status of this task, if it is completed, in progress, or planned, not started yet. You see here also this is a agile project. I have sprints here, 6 in total, and the sprint is around 2 weeks long. I have also for each task estimations of effort, story points. About the project, this is just a simple one. I just want to keep it simple. It's just the migration of Windows 10 to Windows 11 in a company-wide IT infrastructure. And the time frame is around 3 months. And you have here a lot of project phases, which you do not see because everything is on detailed basis, but like planning, then execution and testing. Okay, so I hope I presented this case here on the Excel clearly to everyone. And now let's go to ChatGPT and cross the finger that ChatGPT is performing, because yesterday and the day before it was really somehow not accessible.
There is a question, Katja. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Maybe just quickly, Laval Philippe is asking, what are the points? If you can briefly.
What are the points?
Yes, there were the story points, I guess.
The story points, sorry. The story points, this you have an agile environment if you estimate the effort behind each task. So for example,
just the sizing of how much work can be done, because then with the agile mindset, you're working with the team, and the basic, you start learning that the team is able to perform tasks within a sprint of a max of certain story points. So when you're planning your sprint, you will make sure that you first estimate how much story points each task is, and then with this team I can only do in 2 weeks a max of 30 story points. That's it.
Exactly, yeah. So the lower the number of story points, the easier the task, so to say. The higher the number, so the complex, the more complex and more effort is needed for the task. I don't know. There's no one-to-one relation in time, so I cannot say it's 5 hours. If there is story point, it's 5 or so. It's some kind of expertise behind, depending on the team, yeah, to estimate this story points. Okay, then let's go to ChatGPT and see if it works today. So I will use, sorry, I will use ChatGPT 4 instead of the free version 3.5, because ChatGPT 4 has this additional feature which is very cool, and this is the data analyst programmed with Python, and it can really analyze and visualize data, and this is why I'm using this version of ChatGPT, because my case is also to analyze an extract from a project. So then let me choose the file I have prepared. So this is the sample project data migration. I will open it. So now it's loading, and I hope ChatGPT is not too over busy, because it's a cloud and a lot of users are using that, so it might have some kind of performance problems. Okay, and then I'm also giving here some information what it is. So I say this is a project extract from JIRA. Let's see what happens. So everyone can see ChatGPT, right? It's big enough, I hope. Okay, ChatGPT recognizing it. It could read it. Yeah, and then now I'm coming to my prompt, which I already prepared, and in time reasons I will just paste it here and not write it. So what I'm doing here now, I have this prompt here. So I'm saying the background first. So I'm saying I'm a project manager and want to present the project status analysis to the management. I mean, this is a very main task of a project manager, to keep the management or the project sponsors updated about the project status and the progress, which probably happen with reports on a weekly basis. And okay, this is my background information. And I'm saying to ChatGPT that ChatGPT is a top management consultant, because I want to receive the best visualized charts, maybe. And I say perform the analysis and visualization. And here I have a kind of technical parameter, the temperature. This regulates the creativity of ChatGPT. Just in my case, I set it to 0.1. It means it's more standardized and less creative in this case. So let's go and see what ChatGPT will do. So it's starting to analyzing, and this is what I'm talking about this data analyst based on Python code. Okay, he could obviously progress the file. Now he do a kind of summary here, what he found out in my data. He listing here the columns. And now he's coming to the really interesting part. This is about the analyzation and visualization. Okay, he has a lot of suggestions. And let's see what he will do. I need to say that ChatGPT or any LLM are not deterministic. Sorry. Because it always gives you different results for the same prompt. I want to avoid that by setting the temperature to 0.1, but obviously he's here creative again. Okay, but he is already ready, and he gave me already some charts. For example, the issue status overview. So you remember I have a status of my task. Some were in progress, some were completed or planned. And here he has a diagram for me of this distribution. Yeah, I can see that I have already, most the half completed, what is good, but still half planned, but very less in progress. I don't know why I have only 12 in progress. That might be normal because my team is very small and I have a lot of tasks, but it might also be that the team is not completely using its resources. Yeah, that might be a hint for me, which I need to investigate further by talking with the stakeholders and with the team. Okay, what is the next? Then I have the sprint breakdown of issues. This is also pretty cool. Even he split it in completed and in progress. So yeah, first of all, sprint breakdown of issues. Who is not familiar with that? Here I have the sprints. Sorry, I need to make it a little bit smaller. So I have here the sprints. As I shown before, I have 6 sprints, 2 weeks long. Every sprint is 2 weeks long, and here I have the number of issues. So I see that my distribution, that my issues are not distributed equally per sprint. So as a good manager, I would expect that I planned it properly, that I, in every sprint, almost the same amount of issues, but here it's not the case. The reason why it can happen is maybe I have some sprints resource shortages because of vacation or something like that, then it makes sense. But also here I need to take a look as a project manager and clarify why my sprint breakdown is not evenly distributed. Then I go further. Then I see here, okay, distribution of issues by priority. I see I have a lot of critical issues, more than less critical issues, because I have around 27 or 26 high priority, and almost the half of it are medium. And then I also see here a cool chart about workload distribution among assignees. This gives me also a very good hint. I see that the project manager has a lot of issues assigned to him, followed by a quality assurance team and IT administrator. Yeah, this can also be an indicator that someone in the team is more overloaded as the other. Of course, not only the issues giving you the indication how much work is behind, because for the project manager, it might be very easy tasks, with less story points, but this is also also a point to investigate further. And I see that ChatGPT stopped here because of this performance problem. And the only thing I can do is to regenerate, and he's starting from the beginning. Sorry for that, but it's not my fault.
How are we doing with the time, Katja?
Yeah, it's already 5 minutes past half.
So people are enjoying, see lots of
okay
interaction, so that's good.
Thank you.
On us as much as possible. I know there are some questions were not answered. Also the audience, everybody's interacting and sharing, so that sounds very, very good.
Okay, so maybe
I just want to say, if you have questions you would like to have answered at the end in the Q&A session at the end, please use the question section. It might be easier for us to come back to your questions when you put it in the question sections. So in the chat, you can answer and question and answer here lively, but then in the end, we should use the question section. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe 2 minutes more, Emilio, if
sure.
I may.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
I hope people are excited.
Yeah, I'm also very impressed. So it's not that I'm so used to that. I'm really also very impressed. But you see, this is a format chart where I experiment a little bit, and you see it's always the answer of ChatGPT is always different, but my prompt was the same. Is that what I mean? Not deterministic. It is very creative, and just to follow my case, I wanted to close the story, so to say.
There is one question about if you can download the charts. You can copy and paste, right?
No, I just tried it. ChatGPT is not offering downloading. It's just sharing. But it's
and the worst case is
it's a link then.
Screenshot taken on ChatGPT and pasted in PowerPoint. Answered for Katharina, I think that she was asking.
Okay. Yeah. As screenshots, I understand. Yeah, but at the moment, I wanted to make it live and to give you a realistic feeling of how it works. Okay, so nevertheless, so we have this charts, this first charts from ChatGPT, and it's already very well. I also validated them. For example, I did this small validation, for example, completed. He tell me this is 17, and I went to my Excel and also look, are really 17 completed, and this was correct. So this mathematical operation it can perform, obviously. And also here I did some validations on my Excel. That is also fine. But what I wanted to say, so from these charts, maybe as a project manager, you're also always interested to know on what path your project is. Are we on the critical path? Is it maybe orange, or is it red, or are we on the green path? Everything is perfect. Everyone is doing a job. Everything is clear, and so on. From this illustration from ChatGPT is not so obvious at this point in time. So that's why then I start to say, to define the status, progress status with 3 categories that would be delayed, on track, or completed. Because in progress, planned, and completed is not, you do not see if it's delayed maybe already or on track. And I also said, okay, what is delayed? Delayed, the definition for delayed is that if today is later than due date. So due date was our end date of a task, and it's clear that if this end date is in the past, so we are outdated and our task is delayed. He also understood that perfectly, ChatGPT, and also defined this, repeated this and defined, and I read it and I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then he made me this counting here. He said, okay, 17 are completed, 14 still on track, and 8 are really delayed. So this was the first indicator where I would say, okay, might it be that our project is on a critical path? And then I said, okay, maybe this delayed were deprioritized by the team because they are not so important, or has not the priority high or maybe low. And then that's why I said, okay, visualize then delayed versus status. And then I got this chart and I see this is the chart only of delayed tasks, that I have 5 delayed tasks that still planned. So that means they're not even started. And this is stronger indications that my project is probably critical at that moment. And then you need to investigate further. I made here some assignee, maybe to see if I have some resource shortages there to some certain team. And that's how you can work on it. And sorry, I need now to finish because I do not want to steal time from my colleague. Thank you very much.
You already did.
Sorry, Emilio. I'm stopping now. So
okay, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff.
So you can talk hours about it, and go deeper and deeper into the analysis. And thank you for your attention. And now I'm hand over to Emilio. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Katja. Let's I'll try now to take over the presentation. And I'll do share screen, Chrome tab, yes. Let's go with, what is that? GPT. So this one, full screen. I will share this screen. Yes, can you just guys give a hint if you're able to see the presentation? Let me put it in full mode. Present.
Yeah, we can see it. Thank you.
Yes.
Looks good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm switching between right and left because I'm looking at the picture at the presentation where I'll be standing, but I have the camera and the chat on the right side. So every now and then you'll see some movement. Let's go directly to the part that we were. We did it. Okay, I'll go for the second use case. The second use case is basically creating a project plan. And it sounds, yeah, it's a project plan. It's a first start. It's a head start on a project plan. What is the goal? The goal is to create a project plan in a CSV file to import into JIRA. But once you have a CSV file, you can import it into Excel. You can manipulate in Asana, in Drake, in any other of the tool that you use for your project plan. Why is this important? Because with this, you can have a super fast head start on your project. It will not be the final product because it's not the final product. But the way you get to this level is much faster than you do it normally. For this use case, and for people who were asking what version, I'm using the free version. So it's the 3.5, and also the free Atlassian is the JIRA cloud version for JIRA. Let's proceed. Before we start with ChatGPT, 3 key things. First, I want to know, I'm not ChatGPT is good, or it's good for exploring, for brainstorming. In this case, it's not a brainstorming. In this case, I know exactly what I want in the project plan. I know the task. I know what kind of is an assignee, is the number of the starting date, the end date. So I know exactly how the structure of the output look like. So that's why it's important as a first step to know exactly this. Second, what kind of we choose an example website, and we start with the prompting. The JIRA field list. This is the end product from ChatGPT. So I want ChatGPT to, at the end, to deliver me a table, and it's here, containing the different fields. I want a task ID, I want a summary, I want a description, I want a start date, I want a due date, I want a priority. And I can make it as rich as possible, as rich as you would like. Just for this example, I stop to here. You can include the role, you can include the label, you can include all the elements that you normally use in when creating a project. You can include the sprint numbers, you can include the story points, the capacity that is needed, everything. Just bear in mind, when you import into JIRA, certain things must be predefined, like the role of the label. In this case, I will not use them, otherwise I have to. So I will stick to these 5. Second, okay, let's start with, again, as Katja, a simple prompt. The simple prompt we saw it gives results, but doesn't have the depth of what we're looking for as a project manager. The simple prompt in this case is create a project plan for a website. It gives me the project plan. Yeah, it's cool. It's initiation, it's planning, it's design, it's developing. But it's basically a storybook. It's a book. He's opened the book, and it's not very much helping me how I would like. It's quick, but it doesn't have the depth that I would want. Why? Because I used a single prompt. I didn't include any context. So our game plan to have this, we will do 3 things now. I will start with a good prompt, put the live demo in 1 minute. Then we will do some iteration to refine the output, including checking, validating, so the human aspects of the exercise. And then we'll do an export and import. And I hope I'm going to make it to do it before 5 o'clock. I'll do my best. Let's move on with a. Okay. Oh no, let's kick off with a good prompt. That's the first part. Sorry, go back on presenting. This is the good prompt that I will be using now in a minute. Role. I'll follow the formula. The role. ChatGPT is a seasoned project manager with more than 10 years experience. He has experience in managing website development projects and is an expert of agile methodologies. Its task is to create a project plan to design, build, test, and launch. So I'll give him already 4 things that he needs to do. There must be a design phase, a building phase, a testing phase, and a launch phase. I didn't include here specifically the hypercare to see if it's going to give me something about hypercare. So after the website is being launched, I'll give him the I'll give him the context. I want the website to be built with Webflow technology, and it must contain 5 pages. So I will tell him what he needs to do. And also what kind of services. In this case, I'm limited, so sell digital training courses, could be other things, could be prepare a blog, could be host something online. But I also include, I want to have a payment functionality, so say checkout. The limitation is 3 months, my budget is 15,000 euros, and I want to deliver the output in a table format containing 8 columns. And I also include the date format just because it's easier. Otherwise, sometimes it gives a date format that I cannot use it. Last but not least, every row, so each row should contain only 1 task. Otherwise, it's mixing tasks in the description, so it's more difficult to manage. So, and then ask, do you understand? I now will bear with me 1 minute. Is everything clear so far? I will just put ChatGPT here. Yes, you guys can see the screen. Very good. Okay, then what I'll do, I'm not going to write everything now on the spot. I prepared, otherwise we'll be there in 5 minutes. So let's fingers crossed that it's working. Your seasonal project manager, basically the prompt that I showed you. Do you understand? I'll go for a hit that button. Yes, it's working. Let's see what it's coming up with. It's got a project initiation, define goals. Yes, it's got an ID. It's got gathering requirements, wireframe design. Very good. Wireframe design review, Webflow setup, homepage design. Then it's
Emilio, can you enlarge your screen a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Let's go back from the beginning. Yeah. So it's come up compared to the previous prompt where I asked him hit just build a website. Now I gave him more context, and it came back with a much more depth that I want. So it gave me an initiation, the gathering requirements, then the design phase, the setup of the Webflow, different pages that I want to do, and he's assigning this task, also labeling like a design or development, backend integration, front end. So the results that we got are much richer just because of the prompt, nothing else. It's going into a user acceptance test, final adjustments, launch and preparation, and he also planned now for this time a post-launch evaluation. So I would say, as a first step, I'm quite happy with these results. What I want to do now, basically, I'm going into some refinement because I see there is no capacity. So I will ask ChatGPT, include for each row the estimates of the capacity in hours as an extra column after the column row. And let's see, we'll be able to do it. Is adding, I see the project will start on the 1st of April. In his planning, so just doing that, and I realize, oh my goodness, today is 18th of April. My project is not supposed to start on the 1st of April. We start on the 1st of May. And in the Netherlands, 1st of May is a working day. In majority of the countries, is a public holiday. So what I will do before we import into JIRA. So here he included the different capacity. I will ask him to adjust the planning, taking into account that the project will start on the 1st of May. And please consider also the German public holidays. 1st of May in Germany and in Italy and lots of other countries is not a working day. So just as a second refinement step. He understood it. Now he's including the German public holidays, and now you see the project is starting on the 3rd of May. So it's a refinement step that you can do, and it will adjust directly all the all the planning.
Emilio, there are some people very interested in your prompt. May you show again the prompt? I hope.
Sure.
I mean the big one.
The big one.
The
I can
initial
put it in the
one.
chat.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Put it in the chat. Yeah, that's
Let me
also
just
good. I
put it
can
in.
also put it for you if you like.
It's here. I have it.
Okay.
Say something nice. I'm saying something nice to everybody. This is the prompt. No, it's what's happening? Oh, there are too many characters. Let me just break it down into. So this is the first part of the prompt, and I'll go for the second part. Yes. Your website. Let me check. Should be. Let me just double check that I put everything. Katja, can you check if this is correct? Otherwise, I'm mixing up with all the screens. Okay, but please don't worry. Yes. I'll send the prompt. We'll send the prompt afterwards.
Yeah, the prompt seems to be correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But a couple of. So now I'm going to create the output just because of time issues now, because we are on 10 to 5. But there are a couple of questions that I want to ask you, and I want to ask myself when I look at this plan. First, is this realistic? Because my task was do it in 3 months, and it basically executed what I said. It doesn't tell me whether this is realistic or not. So it's up to me, again, the human validation to really understand, is this realistic? It's not going to do that for me. I can prompt later to do that, but it's not going to do as a first step. Secondly, have all the role been defined. When I look here, what he created, and I'm not going to do a summary, otherwise we will forget, but there is a project manager, there is a designer, a developer role, probably, yeah, maybe yes, but I'm missing some. For instance, in the launch preparation in this ID 19, I already see it's only the project manager. Is not only the project manager who's going to do that. There will be other people as well. So that's why the human validation is important. I got a very fast head start, but it's up to me then to decide, is it really like it is, that's really realistic. And in this case, we need some extra refinement. Now I'm going to going to the next and create the output file and have it imported into JIRA. So create an output file in CSV format, including all the tasks and subtasks. In this case, we do not have subtasks, so I will just remove it and use the semicolon as separator. And I'm using the semicolon, I will show you in a minute, because there is in the description of the task, there might be commas. If I use comma as a separator, when I'm going to import, the import will not work. So tip, use, when you're dealing with text, use in a CSV output, use the semicolon, not the commas. So it's almost at the end, 19, okay, the 20th, 21 post-launch. Very good. He has done it. Wonderful. I'll just copy the code and I will open my little text file. This was from last time. I will paste it in here. It's pasted and I will save it. Now I'm going to my JIRA board. For people who do not know, do not worry. It's just a way of managing a project. I created today this my Malt website project. It's basically this one. And I just want to import the task. So I will go and create an item. In this case, I'll make it bigger. And I'll go for import issues. I will choose a file here. And then I have to find where I put the file. Sorry, it's the file was training webinar. Docs, test AI. So I'm importing the file. I'm doing next. He asked me to which project I want to import. It's a Malt website. This delimiter is the semicolon, and I use a format for the date year. Yes. Next. And I'm going to map. Capacity, I'm not going to map this one. It's not in, I have to check, I haven't validated yet. Category, I'm going to map in the category in JIRA. Description is also the description field in JIRA. The end date is a due date. The ID, I don't need to map it. Priority, in this case, I will map the priority to the priority field. Role, I'm not going to map it because it's not known in JIRA yet. And then the start date and the summary. And I will click this in order to validate the results before the import. So I'm going now to go next. I've mapped and I want to validate before the import is done. And now it's giving me a preview. These are the categories, value from the importer, target value I've mapped. Description as well, very good. The date have been mapped correctly. 1st of July is 1st of July. And the priority, high is high. And the start date is also mapped correctly. Summary is also mapped correctly. And then we're going to validate. Now it's validating. I got 21 issues we've created with warning, no problem. The category is basically not known. I will start importing that. And now he's doing his magic. I check the created issues. So now I'm going here on my project board. It was my Malt website. And this is the board. I can go on a timeline, for instance, and I can see this could be the epic or the major task. And so this is already in here. Then now, Charlotte, we need to decide what to do because I got 2 more other prompts. And then we have to round up, but it's already 5 o'clock. What would you suggest?
So we can go further, and everybody stays who can. I would suggest. We have some questions, but I think we can still go through it. And also, we have the recording, and we will send it to you afterwards, so everybody will get all information by the recording.
Yes.
All right.
But maybe before everyone leaves, maybe we can share our LinkedIn QR codes and our feedback, maybe for the people who will leave in a second. Maybe we can, Emilio, what do you think?
Yes,
just we
okay.
share
or we
for
can
the
share
ones
it
who are
afterwards.
living.
Otherwise,
Yeah, because then the people probably are.
Put it in the, maybe you can put it in the chat, your LinkedIn. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me just go. So this was the first task. Then what I want to go one step deeper, and I want to maybe just take a simple example like this one, project initiation. It told me, yeah, we'll define the project scope, the goals, and the stakeholder. And it's taking 20 hours from the project manager starting on the 3rd. That sounds cool. But what I want to do now, I want him to help me to identify all the tasks or the subtasks that I need to do in order to complete ID number 1. So I prepared a prompt. I will be sharing also this with you later. So take ID number 1 and identify all the tasks that the project manager needs to do to accomplish this task. Generate the output in a table format with 4 columns containing a summary, a description, a start date, and an end date. So I'm breaking down the major task or the epic or the major project initiation into the smaller task. And why am I going to do that? Because I want to include it eventually in the JIRA, my project plan. So these are really the actions that I need to do in order to achieve that task. But I think now it got a little bit. Let's identify the task. It's not really, that's a different, what I meant was this one. It's put basically everything all together. Let's try it again, a different, let's do, because this was ID number 1, project initiation. I'll try a different prompt. Yeah, I'll do this. Take ID 1 and break down the descriptions into smaller single tasks. Let's see. I want that it breaks down only the project initiation. Yeah, it's much better now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm happy now with these results. And funny enough, as Katja was saying, ChatGPT is not deterministic. I used basically the same prompt that I used the other days, and it didn't work. So I changed slightly, and I said, break down the descriptions on something into a smaller single task. And that's what he gave me. And with this, I can work, because now I could do exactly the same. I create an output. I can create an output in a CSV format, and I can import it in JIRA. Oh, sorry, I would have to add. I want to import it under this one, project initiation document, MMW1. So what I would have to do, let's just stop this here for a second. I want to have he needs to add 2 columns. That is called the parent issue key, and filling it with this one. Otherwise, I will not be able to link it. So now it's creating the same, just is also including this MWW1, that is the reference to this item. When I will import it, I will not do it now for the sake of time. I will map during the import, I will map this CSV to this item. That means it will appear. I will show you here what I did the other day. It will be like this. So you will see that you have a project kickoff with the different subtasks in here. Okay. I think, yeah, it's still creating. So that's good. I have prepared two other cases, but because of the time, I will skip them. If you're interested, please connect with me and with Katja. Then we'll see. I just want to create one thing before we move on, and that's a powerful thing. Probably if you already know, but I want to have a one-pager project summary containing the key elements of the project, because it gives a bit of the total picture of the project, and can be useful in a PowerPoint, in a presentation as a formal documentation, but also can be used to validate what is written and what he has done, He's now creating conclusion. So this can be ready to be used in a presentation, in a PowerPoint. What it's not in here are the costs, because we had a budget, but it doesn't include the cost. So I will ask him, or ask it, sorry, to prepare a breakdown of the cost. And now we see that's why the human validation is important, because do you remember I said my budget is 15,000 euros, but now I created a project where I have two things. First is assuming certain rates. It's up to me as a human to validate whether these rates are realistic or not. Secondly, even with this rate, it's 20,000 euro. So it's not 15, it's already 5,000 euro over budget. That's why it's important to, let's say, prompt and cross-check and validate also what the results that are being given. Okay, I will switch back to the presentation. Otherwise, we won't be making. I had another extra thing, but will be for another time. Let's proceed with rounding up. So where are we? Results we checked. So far we look at this from a ChatGPT point of view, but there is one more thing that Katja and myself wanted to share with you. And yeah, the big elephant in the room is Gemini. So ChatGPT is one LLM, it's one AI, generative AI, but there is another one that is coming and is already here. What I did is exactly the same prompt I used on Gemini, and I got, I must say, similar results. But there is a little but. I found out that Gemini had, at least for this use case, was much. I preferred Gemini because the plan was easier to read. It was only 10 steps. So it was much easier to read and understand. Also, Gemini by itself included the activities after the go live, what I would normally, as a project manager, I would plan for, and ChatGPT didn't do it. And also, it's another small cool feature that there is an integration with Sheets and Docs. So basically, you can export just with one click. You can export in Sheets and Docs. There is this avoiding copy and paste into the Excel over TXT. However, Gemini did not provide me with the cost estimates. But what's most important is neither ChatGPT or Gemini warned me that the budget of 15K was not realistic for my project. That means human validation is always important. The key insights. We are going back to it's almost finished our session, and I will share 3 things. One is good prompting is the key. You have seen the results, both from Katja and from myself, whether if you use a good prompt, what the richness and the depth that you receive from the ChatGPT or the Gemini. Keep it simple. Complex query, break it down into smaller parts. It doesn't, if you prompt it with very complex things, it just loses it. It doesn't, is not able to understand. And thirdly, be in the agility world, be iterative. Try, work step by step to get to the desired results. And Katja, what do you want to add? We are here on the validation, the human aspect. I think already mentioned many things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, many things mentioned. So, of course, to use LLM effectively, it's not that ChatGPT is doing all the work for you. Yourself need to know your subject in order to validate, adjust, and teach it. So, like Emilio already said, so human interaction is still needed. This tool is not, autonomously working, like you can leave it and you don't have a clue what it is, and then it's giving you high quality results. It's not that way. Your interaction is still needed. So you are the chief, so to say, and the creator, and ChatGPT is your assistant. And ChatGPT, as we saw it here, is a powerful booster. So we managed in 15 minutes to do the first draft of a project analysis, and Emilio was also able, just with information, to produce a project plan, which he could already upload to JIRA, which is also saving a lot of time. Of course, also what I said, it's not deterministic. So this is a very creative tool, and can give you to the same input, several outputs. And also always, be transparent that you are using AI. Do not be afraid to tell that you was, AI was helping you. There is nothing bad about it. Tell it, and maybe people also get inspired and get more to know. And of course, the last one is practice, 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 and experiment.
Okay, very good. Let's go to then we are at the end of almost at the end of our session. If you'd be interested in any deep dive training or just about ChatGPT and project managers, drop a yes in the chat. We promise we will not spam you. So it's totally, so if you're just interested, that would, that we know, and we can catch up later. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I see a lot of yes already. So
okay.
If we would make a training, so that would be then we could then have more time and go more in detail, and also present you more interesting project cases.
Let's connect. What depends on what your needs are, depends on your organization, but we're very happy to help. We are passionate about these topics. So if you drop a yes, we can connect afterwards, and then we'll see. We take it from there. And we would like to ask you one thing, if you don't mind. It's always good to. Now it's a Q&A session, so Charlotte, please support us. And in the meantime, if you
and the feedback is very important. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. We really appreciate because
that would be
we really like to know.
Appreciated. Yeah. Okay. With questions, we have?
We have questions. I just wanted to know if you want me to read the questions. I listed them by upvotes. So we have, for example, one question that have a lot of upvotes. Maybe we should start with that one. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, sure.
Katja, Emilio?
Both.
So Thomas is asking, how can I ensure that the data is processed securely? DSGVO, Service Act, etc., because I am working with very sensitive corporate data.
Yeah, that's what we said at the beginning. Yeah, you are not allowed to publish clients' data.
Not allowed.
On.
The only thing you could do, or you have to. So the one thing that you do not have to do is use ChatGPT. So in this case, you cannot use it because all the data that you put in there will be publicly available. Work with your company for them to implement an internal ChatGPT. That's the generative. I am working for a client now, and they have their own generative AI solution, and that is allowed, and that you can use. Otherwise, unfortunately, Thomas is with this. It's, at this moment in time for you is a no-go.
Okay, next question. Which has also a lot of interest from Roland. Rather than having Emilio's output as a spreadsheet, can one have a visible project plan in, for example, Excel with bars for the timeline, etc.?
Sorry, I cannot see it. Can you? Can you repeat the question, Charlotte?
Rather than having your output as a spreadsheet, can one have a visible project plan in, for example, Excel with bars for the timeline, etc.?
You'd have to use the 4.0. It's a nice case. Maybe we can try it afterwards, Katja, because I'm using the free version because everybody's using the free version. So with the free version, you cannot do it. But
one remark, maybe with the free version, you can ask ChatGPT with the free version to give you the Excel formula to design this chart in Excel. Then you just apply these formulas in Excel or let help you. Of course, it costs more time. This could be a workaround solution.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
There's a question, why would I use LLM to analyze data and generate reports rather than use the standard project performance reports of JIRA? Or JIRA. JIRA has powerful standard reports, especially if LLMs are not deterministic and every analysis and report will look different.
Yeah, they look different, but as we can validate, they have correctly summarized or correctly displayed the results. So even the visualization is different between, but you can also customize. So you can learn ChatGPT. If you have, for example, a chart which you're already using at your project and you want to look at the same, you can give this picture to ChatGPT, and then in a second it will present you this kind of looking chart. Then, yeah.
If I may add
of course.
Yeah, please, Katja.
So I know JIRA has as well all these issues, but from my experience, the project managers somehow less using that, maybe because you need to do a lot of settings, you need to do a lot of I don't know, preconditions. That's why it's not so fast. I mean, here was the case really that in 2 minutes or 5 minutes you get this report. Yeah, this is amazing. This is not what JIRA can do.
That's basically what
just out of nothing.
The use case is exactly this one. If you have, if in your project team you have someone who is creating these JIRA reports and it's already there, just use them and do not go for it. In this case, what you can achieve with ChatGPT is the fast. You have, first of all, it's a human interaction. You ask, show me. So you literally, there is no coding, nothing. It's just telling your assistant to provide you with the result you want, and then is also explorative and is in JIRA, you have to define your report. And here you could also use the exploration that ChatGPT gives you to say, okay, what can you see? Or creating a prompt that let ChatGPT a bit more free in finding connections between, so really analyzing data. And in this case, it was very simple. Imagine when you have a much more complex project, and ChatGPT would be much more useful to. You will get much quicker results than in JIRA. For tracking purposes, probably JIRA reports are very much very much good.
Yeah, but for example, also in our case, so okay, we had this I don't know, work cloud and the sprint distribution. But for example, this delayed and on track. Yeah, maybe you can also. I'm not sure now if JIRA has this. Standard report. This is why you can so quickly then say, okay, I want to see that and I want to see that. In JIRA, you have predefined charts, which are, can be filled in, but you are not so flexible to experiment.
There is
and
much
to
more
ask some other things.
flexibility and much more power in ChatGPT than in JIRA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I see a lot of people leaving. I think we stretched the time to the ultimum. And if there are further questions, I think you can always get in touch with Katja and Emilio through the LinkedIn QR codes that are shown now here. And that was a very, very interesting, insightful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot as well, Charlotte.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody for very nice and interactive. Thanks you all for all your questions and participations, and keep in touch.
Yeah, and so let's keep in touch. So that's really, really important for us to connect with you and to hear what your task or your business cases are behind. So we also learn from you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks Charlotte as well for hosting us, and
thank you.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Thank you.